Alright, people. Another article from Anfield Watch is over the Malaga deal FSG have got in place. And the deal hasn't gone yet across the line because PSG owners are still very much apparently in the race. But say it goes well and FSG buy them, what does that actually benefit Liverpool? How does it benefit the club? It's an interesting question, and I'll go through the information provided here from Anfield Watch. Their source I take very lightly with a pinch of salt and generally ignore. So it says here that players who are performing well for Malaga in the Secunda division will stand a greater chance of moving to Liverpool, and likewise players that might need to be loaned out or sold could stand a great likelihood of moving to Spain. So if you think of we've got youngsters. I mentioned a few youngsters, like a certain Georgian left back. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He could be bought, loaned to Malaga to develop, or just to see how he plays in Europe, mainstream Europe. You could bring in somebody from South America. You want to see how they adapted to Europe. And they've got here Manchester City being able to use the City Group, and that includes 13 clubs to their benefit for many years. So they encourage, as they say here, young players to join one of these clubs, and Man City get an opportunity to see them develop before moving for themselves, making a move themselves for the player. So where would this benefit Liverpool if Malaga were involved? Now they use this example. They could get FSG purchase players for Malaga who might be deemed too high risk a transfer to the Premier League. For example, the South American market is one they use. And there is loads of talented youngsters in South America, from Argentina to Brazil, for example. And a lot of clubs will stay clear initially because players aren't proven in Europe, and it's an understandable fear. And there's a lot of pressure in the Premier League. For some players it might be in a goldfish bowl, especially if you're at Liverpool. And there's language barriers as well. So it would make sense. So they could send technically the hot prospects from Argentina or Brazil to Malaga, and there's no risk to Liverpool there. The article here is by William Cornish. It's an interesting article, I should say. I don't normally take them for transfer news lightly, but there's some interesting points. Naturally, don't get excited. Nothing's been set in stone or confirmed yet or anything. But we've seen how Man City take advantage of the multi-club model. And it potentially could benefit Liverpool. They do say here the intention, of course, with this, with like using the example of South America again, for the players to succeed in any club that they join, but Liverpool haven't. So you want them to succeed at Malaga. You don't buy them to bring to Malaga for them to fail. You want them to succeed. But Liverpool get an extra bit of protection, so they've got a link to the South American market. They can tap into that market, but at no risk to themselves. So the FSG could send the players to Malaga, which is what I was explaining earlier, and refer to it again. It's an interesting one. I sometimes hate this multi-club model, but I see the benefits of it. But I also see why fans don't like it, because you might think your owners aren't fully concentrating on your club. They're focusing on some of the feeder clubs, but then again, concentrating on those feeder clubs could in turn benefit your club. You know, it's not major news right now because the deal's not signed. I might schedule this for later in the week, just so we can focus on the main news being the priority for now. Also, as I'm recording this, it's April Fool's Day, so like any news out on this day, just take it lightly. But by the time you're watching this, it won't be April Fool's Day. Alright, thank you very much.